A rolling stone gathers no moss. Worn out my shoes running through these honky tonks. And if we're gonna sing, we're belting till the break of dawn. Singing the Ulen Branch Blues. Singing the Ulen Branch Blues.
Guys, welcome. Ulen Branch Blues again. We're back at you with another episode here. Episode 7 or 8. I think I'm starting to lose track here, which is a good thing. That means a lot of artists are coming out, supporting the cause for local music and getting away from the mainstream, creating our own mainstream. I'm your host, Dylan Merle. This podcast was created for the local guys, the guys that are cutting their teeth here in this area, Ohio, West Virginia, and Eastern Kentucky. Might branch out later into some other things. I've seen some other people doing some things. Morgan Wade out in Roanoke, Virginia. You get down to Texas, there's Band of Heathens and things, which they've already gotten kind of bigger, but I was listening to them before they did. And I really like them, so we might travel around. But right now, we've got plenty of material, plenty of unseen talent, unseen people trying to cut their teeth and make it big. I've got one of them gentlemen with me today. His name is Cole Chaney. He's from Eastern Kentucky. He's a homegrown boy right here. He's hit some hardships just like we're all singing the Ulen Branch Blues, and I want to introduce him to you today. How you doing today, Cole?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Let's jump into it. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? When did you start? What's your influences?
Well, man, I'll just go ahead and start at the top of the roster, I reckon. I'm 19, from Boyd County, Kentucky. Lived there pretty much all my life. Well, my dad, he lives over in Ohio. You know, I grew up in a split household there, so I spent half the time over at my dad's house in near Wheelersburg, Ohio, and then half the time over at my mom's in Ashland, close to Ashland. And, yeah, man, pretty much spent most of my life in Boyd County.
So you're a heck of a guitar picker. What got you into playing music? Where'd the spark come from?
Well, honestly, my stepdad, Scott Sword, he was the first person to really introduce me at all to guitar music. Now, I mean, you know, he'll tell you that he's not a very good guitar player, and, you know, he just kind of likes to mess around. But, man, when I was a little kid, that was like the coolest thing in the world to me, was that he could just pick up this thing with strings on it and start making noise, and it sounded cool. And I was like, man, I want to do that.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So that was your early influence. Stepdad, Scott Sword?
Yep. Yeah.
Does he design anything? I might have to.
Yeah, he does graphic design.
I've seen this. It's hit my newsfeed.
Yeah,
somehow.
I could see possibly a little sponsorship growing here. Maybe a little.
I'll take it.
Collaboration.
I'll take it. Yeah, we can barter. We'll figure out something.
Yeah, I'll do a little advertising for him. Hey, if you guys need any kind of graphic design, any kind of logos made, you can hit up my stepfather on Facebook. Pretty much only Facebook because, you know, he's an old man.
Oh, yeah.
But
Scott
Sword Designs, SWORD. That's how you spell his last name.
That's perfect, man. Especially with all these local artists, man. That's important, man. Because these guys are making album covers. They're making my wife made our koozies tonight, but I'm sure Scott could come up with something crazy cool looking.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's good with that kind of
stuff. So, guys, Scott Sword, he's looking for work. So, this man right here is looking for work. Where have you played? Have you been playing any?
Man,
bring us through your journey.
I'm not very well known around here at the time being because I've really only been into it for about, probably 8 months now. I'll just give you a little bit of my backstory here. I graduated high school with plans of going to welding school. Went to Kentucky Welding Institute, graduated there, went to work at Marathon. Ended up leaving Marathon. Went out on the road, and I ended up in Wisconsin for 2 months. And, you know, when I was in Wisconsin, I had kind of a crossroads moment in my life where it was like, look, you can do this forever, or if you're serious about it, you can really give the music thing a go. And so, you know, I kind of buckled down and decided that was what I was going to do and started writing songs and really, you know, taking guitar lessons more and just trying to elevate myself from where I was to where I can be, you know, because I know that I have a lot more potential than what I have right now.
I believe that.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I got on your YouTube channel. You got a YouTube channel. and that's Cole Chaney
Yeah.
on YouTube. And I was looking through them songs, man, and dude, you're heavily influenced Tyler Childers, Nick James.
Yeah.
I could hear that, but you like the old stuff too.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff I heard on there. I do think your potential's limitless. Of course, Rick was going to be here tonight, and he's running. He might pop in later,
Yeah.
but he introduced us. We did the podcast with him last episode.
Yeah, I listened to it.
And he said, man, you got to get this Cole guy out here, man. He's doing big things. And
Yeah, and thank you, Rick Potter, for that.
Absolutely.
That was awesome, man. I appreciate the shout out. I can use everyone I can get.
Then we just recently went to the V Club, and we was all up there this past weekend. Was it Brother Smith? Allie Fletcher, she opened up, and then she helped him out a little bit, and then Nick Jamerson.
Yep.
And Rick was introducing me to everybody, so I really appreciate that. He introduced me to the founders of
Introduced me to you.
Yeah, that's right. You and your girlfriend Cameron, right?
Yep.
Come up.
Yep.
And you all was there together. I was there with my wife, and we had a good time. He introduced me to the Honky Tonk Hero fellas. I ran into Brock Thompson. That was just that night was cool. It was cool, man. I didn't expect Browns I keep calling them Browns. Brother Smith.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just weren't on my radar, I guess.
Man, I had never heard them live before, but whenever, and not that when they don't have their whole band, whenever they have their whole band out, they sound great.
Right.
But whenever it was just those two playing together, that was
stripped down.
That was surreal, man.
That's
I mean,
right.
they were so good.
They were so tight.
Yeah, man.
Like
it
the
was
harmonies were
yeah.
insane.
I would imagine probably if you play with your brother your whole life, you're probably pretty close to them. You know what they're gonna do. But just that guitar and the fiddle together, man, that was awesome.
That was sick.
Really good. And both those guys are very good singers.
I didn't expect it at all.
I'd never seen them live. I'd heard of them because I'd heard them on Star City Sessions Volume 2 with Nick Jamerson.
Gotcha.
And they play a few songs on there. They're really good. But yeah, man, they're awesome live.
So tell me. So I watch your YouTube videos. So you do that, but I've also seen you gigging a little bit. Tell me some of the venues that you have played at, open mics or anything.
Man, I started out there at Callahan's playing the open mic, and I'd be out there like every week just trying to get as much time as I could playing. And I started playing out at the Winchester Guitar Bar, which is a cool little venue. I play there fairly often. Played out a little hole-in-the-wall 243 pit stop in Ironton. I really like that place, and the guys that run that are good people.
Good people?
Yeah, and where else have I played, man?
There's so many
I've been
venues
up to the
around
Twisted
here,
Cork in Lexington.
Okay. And you're coming. Let's plug that real quick.
Okay.
You got a show coming in?
Yeah, I'll be at the Twisted Cork in Lexington, Kentucky for all my Lexingtonian friends out
There
there.
you go.
I'll be there April 23rd, playing from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I believe. So that'll be an awesome show. That'll be my first official set in Lexington.
You're green.
That'll
ain't
be
you,
awesome.
man?
Yeah,
You're
I
going,
really
dude.
am green.
I think you're doing great, man. It blows me away what you've accomplished in 8 months.
Thanks,
It
man.
really
Thank
has.
you.
What can people expect they go out to see? What's your percentage of covers and what's your percentage of original songs?
Man, on any given night, things change, Okay. I usually play a 3-hour set. I don't have a set list.
Okay.
So I just go up there and BS it.
Right,
Completely BS it.
I like it.
I play whatever song I feel like playing, I
Does
probably...
the crowd move you in any direction?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes? Okay.
Yeah. I probably do like 10% of it is my original music because I don't have a ton of original music written. And the stuff I do write, I'm very particular about if I'm going to play it out or not because I have to like my music. And if I don't like my music, I'm not going to expect anyone else to like it. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't known you very long, and you and I were doing sound check and stuff, and that is important. Your sound is so important to you.
Yeah.
Probably, everyone's sound is really important to them, but, man, you're your harshest critic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to criticize you harder than you. You were hearing things that were just beyond your years, really. So that's great.
That's something I've always been told,
Yeah.
But I feel like if I'm harder on myself than anyone else is, then there's probably not a whole lot that you can say to me that's going to hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that skin's going to be thick.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I don't want to talk too much before we get into a song because once people hear your songs, they're going to want to listen even more. So,
Yeah.
What are you going to play for us first here?
Man,
And tell us a little backstory about the song.
All right. This song right here, I think I named it the other day when I was playing my set at the Winchester, and I believe I named it Goodbye.
Okay.
But it's not a goodbye song. It's not a sad song. Because most people that do know of me probably know me for a song I played recently called Mercy.
Okay.
We'll get into that later whenever I play that one.
Yeah,
But
we're going to build up to that
yeah,
one.
this song is called Goodbyes, and it's about my girlfriend Cameron that you met.
Okay.
Hell of a gal.
Hell
Love
of
her
a
to
gal.
death.
Hell
Yeah,
of a
she's
gal.
awesome. She puts up with me. She's my cameraman. You know,
There you
she's
go.
awesome.
I like
so I figured she deserved a song.
Cameron is your cameraman.
Yeah, that's right.
That
That's
song's
right.
writing itself. That
Yeah.
song's writing itself.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, bro.
All right. This is Goodbye.
Have you ever seen the sunset over the Atlantic Ocean blue? Or heard the sound of a first fired engine built instead of bought new? Yeah, those things are all well and good, but they don't compare to the sight of a blue-eyed angel letting blonde hair down for you. A God-fearing woman, that's what she claims to be. But a handful of aces is what she is to me. She leaves my loving arms to help the Sunday school kids. Leaves me feeling quite uneasy from how talented she is. How I hate to see her go, but she'll be back. This I know, I can tell just by the look in her eye. She'll walk right back through that door. She always comes back for more. Lord, how I hate to love to say goodbye. The daughter of a policeman will make a boy tread awful light. And when he found out she was running with me, he'll shoot to kill on sight. And it'd been a couple months since I'd seen her. Round the bend was her birthday. I slipped a card with a letter in her mailbox and hammered down as I drove away. How I hate to see her go, but she'll be back. This I know, I can tell just by the look in her eye. She'll walk right back through that door. She always comes back for more. Lord, how I hate to love to say goodbye. Well, it's been about a year since I feared for my life. She's been with me a long while now. She's at my house about every night. And though we've settled down a lot more than we were back then, she still gets wild as a boar, and tomorrow we'll do it all over again. But how I hate to see her go, but she'll be back. this I know, I can tell just by the look in her eye. She'll walk right back through that door. She always comes back for more. Lord, how I hate to love to say goodbye. Lord, how I hate to love to say goodbye.
Yeah. Dude. How I love to hate to say goodbye. God.
That's the first time I played that one really out. Well, I played it last week, and I'm still kind of getting it down, you know. It's still a little rough around the edges, but
No, dude, I didn't hear it. Maybe you're being hard on yourself again, but man, that's a good one there. That hits home too, because you said we're settled down a little more than we used to be, but she still gets wild as a boar or something like that.
yeah.
At times or something, and man, that hits home because we all have those times. Back in the day,
Yeah.
you know how them back in the day stories go.
Yeah.
Oh, back in the day, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, and now we're a little domesticated.
Yeah.
Right? You get older, but
Well, see, I'm still back in the day, and I feel like an old man, so that's
Yeah.
kind of the point I'm writing from.
I understand that.
Yeah.
No, you're living back in the day right now,
yeah.
and then people like me, we're on the other end of it. So really, you're bridging a gap there, right?
Yeah.
You're talking to both.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do.
That's perfect, man. And that's kind of the key of the songwriter, right? If you can sing a melody or put some lyrics together that talks to multiple people, depending on their situation, because everyone's situation is different. And so you listen to the song, I listen to the song, we're going to pull different things from it.
Exactly.
So
But that's
that's
the beautiful thing about songwriting is that there's something that everybody can get from every song you play, you know.
Yeah,
And there's a
absolutely.
lot of stuff that you might not even realize
Right.
that is going to hit somebody home, but it does, you know.
Absolutely.
And whenever somebody tells you that, you know, that's like the best kind of gratification I can get as a songwriter.
Has that ever happened to you? You kind of wrote something to just kind of a filler, and then it end up touching somebody. Have you experienced that yet, or because I've experienced it with.
Well, like right there, in that instance, like I didn't write that thinking that was going to relate to anybody,
Right.
really. You know,
I
I was thinking of a line in my head, and I was like, oh, you know, that sounds pretty good right there. So
Yeah.
but
And
see, but
that's
that
the line that
related to
stuck
you,
out.
so
Yeah.
that's cool. You know,
That's the line that stuck out because
yeah,
when we went to that Nick Jamerson concert, that was kind of me and my wife getting wild as a boar or
Yeah.
whatever your lyric was, because we got we got 4 kids and we don't get to go out a whole lot,
Yeah.
but when we do, we dance a little bit. We like to have a good time and stuff. But back in the day, we used to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be how we lived and stuff. That's just all the time. So you're into music, you're songwriting. Where do you see your voice evolving to? Where would you like to see it go to? Just some people you like, you're digging. Maybe we know. I'd like to hear anybody we don't know.
All right. Well, let me just name off some folks that
Okay.
I really like, and then I'll tell you kind of where I'm aiming my sound.
Okay.
So first and foremost, Nick Jamerson. That man right there has been my number one inspiration ever since I was trying to learn, really even music.
Okay.
I mean, ever since I started getting into the music scene, like he has always been the dude that I was like, man, that guy right there has it. He has it down.
Now, you said you were kind of a younger guy. Was you into the Sunday best scene, or did you
Man.
catch him later?
My uncle, he got me into Sunday best when I was like 14 years old. I'm 19 now.
Okay.
So
About 5 years ago.
yeah, I got a chance to go and see them at the Carter County Thunder in 2015, and me and my buddy Seth Clark went and saw that together. And man, that was and still is the best concert that I've ever been to. And it was pouring the rain. And
Better than him the other night? Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
better than that.
It had been just nuts then.
Man, we were standing in about 6 inches of nothing but mud and beer cans just all over the
Right,
ground,
I
you
got
know. And here's me and Seth, and we're both 15 years old. Like, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're
no idea.
idiots.
Yeah.
And we're just standing around there. I believe at some point during the concert, I ripped my shirt off, and I'm like swinging it over my head. But I mean, we were
Had that good a
getting down,
time?
and man, they played that for us, and there was probably only like 300 people there.
Gotcha.
But the crowd's energy with that, man, everybody was so into it. And
Really?
they went backstage to end their show, and they came back out and played 6 encore songs for us.
Holy cow.
It was awesome.
They just kept jamming.
It was great, yeah. So that was like it. That was right before the very peak of Sunday Best.
Okay.
That was when we went and saw that.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, man, I love Nick's solo stuff. I've got a chance to talk to him a few times. He's a very down-to-earth guy.
Oh, gosh. He played out here. Of course, we're recording at the Pump House, like always. Yeah. But he played out here, and he stayed for the after party. See, what happens out here is we'll have a show, but so many musicians show up to this place. This is like the musicians' dive here. Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, every show has so many musicians that are here that there's always an after party. So, like, they'll go to their trunks and put on a trunk concert. You know, they'll pack it in here and have a good time. And he stayed for that, or stayed for a lot of it. And just talking to me and Charlie Woods, we talked forever up on stage. And it was late, but he stuck around and he stayed. I will tell you, though, I never knew of Sunday Best. Mm. I was into listening to different I think I was still listening to older stuff. I wasn't – I'm the type that 90s country kind of turned me off and stuff. Yeah. Because – I don't know, 80s and 90s, it just kind of, I don't know, it just seemed like everything changed. Believe me, I know a lot of the words of Tim McGraw and all that stuff. Well, I know a lot of the words.
Just to get you to remember the words.
That's right.
It's all earworm.
That's right. And I get drunk, sing every word or whatever. But I was still listening to the old guys then, the Outlaws, the original Outlaws and stuff. I didn't really pick up Nick Jamerson until he went solo. Yeah. And then I tried to go back to listen to Sunday Best, and you can't do it. You just, I don't know, you can't do it. Like, I mean, maybe he had some good songs with Sunday Best. Yeah. But I'm so hooked on his solo stuff.
It's completely different.
I can't go back.
Completely different stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school, Sunday Best is what we listened to, man. And so like any time that we all get together or something, when we can put on Sunday Best song, everybody will scream every single word to that song.
So that was you, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that was like our thing, you know. Talking about influences and stuff. Now that I've gone through my whole Nick Jamerson spill. And anybody will tell you that knows me that I'm the biggest Nick Jamerson fan that you're going to run across, just because he's inspired me to a certain extent. You know, like so much that dude has done for me and doesn't even know it. Right. That's the cool part about it.
Right.
But anyway, we get off of that. Obviously, Tyler Childers is inspiration of mine. How could the dude not be?
That's right.
You know, I mean, he's out there he's already cut his teeth. He is doing it right now. You know, he's about to go tour arenas with Sturgill Simpson. So that's freaking awesome.
That's right.
Sturgill Simpson, of course, inspiration. Another guy that I'd kind of like to get his name out there if I possibly could around here is Arthur Hancock.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe I sent you his stuff the other day.
For sure.
Man, he is a great, just all-around musician. Now, he does, most of his stuff is bluegrass, you know.
Okay.
But he put out a solo record that's not as much bluegrass.
Okay.
But it's still, you know, it's real country. It's very country, but it's got a lot of bluegrass in it, too. But he was the singer for the band called The Wooks, which is a bluegrass band out of Lexington. And, man, The Wooks are probably my favorite band or favorite thing to listen to at all right now, because they are awesome.
So pick that up, guys. Y'all hear that? So
the Wooks and Arthur Hancock. If you aren't listening to both of those, you need to.
That's right. That's a good shout out for them. Let's hear another song. Let's hear where these inspirations taking you. So these inspirations here created this sound, and I want to hear it because before we do that, like what I was wanting to say, and I keep forgetting every time I take a breath, but. Like when you get into the feeling of your sound, like when you're open in the middle of that, when you go your vibrato there, man, that's perfect. Then I can hear all of your influences that you say right there in that vibrato. Like, so you're there, you're right there, you're fitting in, you're driving right with them. So let's hear a song.
Well, I'll go ahead and do Mercy, because I would have to say that's probably my most. And it's not a bluegrass song by any means, but it's definitely inspired by bluegrass. Yeah. And definitely Arthur and all those guys. So.
Absolutely. And that's why I called this Euland Branch Blues, is because I love bluegrass. Mm-hmm. I love country. I love Appalachia. Whatever you say that sound is. I love blues, jazz. I love that stuff. And I think the new guys like yourself are mixing all of it.
Well, there's room for all of it, man. There's
You're
room
right.
for all of it. There ain't no reason that everybody can't, just I don't see why somebody can't have one bluegrass song and then the next song can be funk, like anything, man.
You ain't going to hear any argument
there's,
made.
I don't think there's any limits to what you should be able to do.
That's a great way to put it. There's room for all of it. So this is Mercy, right?
This is Mercy. This song was written about 2 weeks ago, close to 2 weeks ago, for the people that live in this area that have been done wrong by a company, which is very many people. AK Steel, all the people that work there, Rick Potter being one of those. Bellefonte Hospital had been shut down, and my mom worked at Bellefonte for very many years, and there's a lyric in the song that says, talks about mercy and stuff. You'll hear it. It's got kind of a double meaning to it, but
Gotcha.
It was something that I felt needed to be said, and
Absolutely.
something that a lot of people agreed with.
Okay.
So that's what that's about.
I love it.
And all right, this is called Mercy.
I sit atop this parking garage, watch town folk meddle about. Most of my young life's been in this place. It's been a few long months since AK got shut down. The last call signed with all their names. My mother found out yesterday she'll have to find another job. I guess the stock for Mercy is down. I've been looking for a way, an excuse would do just fine to get out of this godforsaken town. But it's on the horizon, the change has come to be. The city lights will make a man of me. There ain't nothing in this town that hasn't been shut down or soon to be headed that way. But it all dies in the end, so what's it matter anyway? They used to come in droves, or so I've been told, way back in the golden days. But all that's left here now is all but burned out. Empty promises were made to break. A new company comes to town, they put a shovel in the ground, swear to be a savior to our place. And they finally got their funds, it doesn't matter where they're from. Another company lie right to our face. But it's on the horizon, the change has come to be. The city lights will make a man of me. There ain't nothing in this town hasn't been shut down or soon to be headed that way. But it all dies in the end, so what's it matter anyway? I sit atop this parking garage looking over at Ohio. Lord, I don't want to leave her out to dry. gasping for air, but there ain't no air spare. She'll be gone before the morning light, but it's on the horizon. The change has come to be. The city lights will make a man of me. There ain't nothing in this town that hasn't been shut down, or soon to be headed that way. But it all dies in the end, so what's it matter anyway? Yeah, it all dies in the end, so what's it matter anyway?
Steve Perry, he helps me out a lot with this. He's my co-host, man. He's my right-hand man with this stuff. And he's actually down there watching Mississippi State, Kentucky and Mississippi State play tonight. Okay. But he's got this saying that he uses. He said, man, you got a finger on that writing. And that's exactly what he says. And sometimes you understand, sometimes you don't. And now I understand. You got a finger on that writing, dude. Like that. I mean, a lot of people sung that or try to write about this area or whatever. I wouldn't say a lot of people sung that. A lot of people have taken that feeling about all these places shutting down and how decrepit the area has been the last few years and stuff like that, or they've at least attempted to do it, and nobody has done it better than that right there. You have just, man. Dude, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. Like, that's insane, dude. I mean, just those lyrics, man. It's as soon as Rick Potter showed me just on my phone, but you did it justice and you did it with a mic and everything. And I do want to say that, like, I've got the equipment that I've got, and it's not very good. You know, it's just this little 4-input audio interface, and I do the best I can with, GarageBand or whatever. But Cole put it on his YouTube channel, and somebody knew a lot more of what they were doing than I do, and it sounds great. So if you just want to hear the song, go to his channel, and you can hear the song. And it's really done really, really well. But that right there, live is the best you're going to hear it. I mean,
Patrick McKnight, he's the guy that recorded my stuff. You can find him on Facebook, Patrick McKnight.
It sounds incredible. And Patrick did.
Give him a little shout out, man. He's awesome.
He did an amazing job because I've listened to that song like 5 or 6 times since Rick showed it to me, and that's only been a few days ago. I mean, I just keep listening to it, and I've showed everybody it.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
It hits so many things. Like people want to sugarcoat stuff. Like
there's no point in it.
But you say they lie right to our face, and it happens time and time again.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that, too.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to name any names.
No,
I know exactly
absolutely.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean it's all through that song. It's all everything, and I know people personally that are on the board of Brady. And I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I'm not saying that. I'm not calling anybody out because we don't know. All we know is that we were promised one thing. You don't see anything. You don't see any corn. Do we see any corn yet? The seed was planted. There was seeds sown everywhere, all through the media and all that stuff, and we've yet to see the first corn. But they're not the first ones to do that. And maybe they'll follow through, right? There's still time, I guess. There's a lot of media and crap.
That song is written for right now and how people are feeling right now. It has nothing to do with what they decide to do in the future.
That's right.
But it has everything to do with what they've done so far.
Right.
And what they've done so far is not a damn thing.
That's right.
So that is what I'm pointing out.
That's right.
And there's a lot of people that agree with that.
Oh,
and you might disagree with that. And hey, you know what? That's fine, man. Have your own opinion.
That's right.
Good. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you disagree with what I'm saying. But what I'm pointing out is the feeling of a whole lot of people around here. And if you go on my Facebook and you look, the 15,000 views will tell you that.
Absolutely.
That there's a lot of people that agree with what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And I'm sitting there across the table from you and agree. There's time. There's time to make it right. There is. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, man.
In the days to come, anybody can make it right. I don't think AK can at this point.
No.
They're gone.
Probably not.
And they're not coming back. they're just looking out for business or whatever. I understand all that. The company will point to thieves and liars and stuff that work there, and I'll agree with you. That was part of it. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. There was thieves and liars that worked there, and it didn't help it. Now this whole Belfont
have
thing.
that anywhere you work.
That's right. You're right.
Anywhere.
Any big corporation you point out, you're going to find some shady characters
Exactly.
because it's human nature.
Yeah.
It's absolutely human nature. This Belfont thing's bullshit. From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably more versed in it than I am, but Mercy bought the hospital thinking they would get King's Daughters, and they didn't get King's Daughters, so they said, well, we can't use Belfont. And I guess Belfont was supposed to be the rehab part, and King's Daughters is I don't know. But either way, they bought it, then they shut it down. I'm like, a lot of people use Belfont.
Here's how it was explained to me by my mom.
Okay.
So Mercy bought the hospital, right? They decided that Belfont wasn't producing enough revenue in order for it to be, quote unquote, logical to keep it open.
Okay.
So they sent out a letter, and in my opinion, where they really screwed up here was where they attached God's name to the whole thing, right?
I got you.
So they go and they say that they, quote unquote, again, prayerfully have come to this decision to shut the hospital down. And it's like, really, man?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, prayerfully. Come on. You're trying to soften it.
If you're going to fire me, don't kiss my ass before you fire me, you know?
Just say you're fired.
Yeah.
Just say.
That's all you need to say.
Just say we got no room for you. You're done.
Yeah.
Well,
and whether you're religious or not, there are people out there, especially in this region, that are very devout Christians.
Right.
And I just,
the way they worded that, they're playing on people's emotions. They shouldn't have
you
said
shouldn't.
that. Yeah.
And their faith, you shouldn't mess with that. That's something that should not. You don't need to attach God's name to money. That should never be in the same conversation together. I don't think.
Never.
And I'm not trying to get all religious with anything here.
No.
And I'm definitely by no means a very religious person. I just, I have my core beliefs, and I believe everybody does.
That's right. Well, this has touched you personally.
Yeah.
You know, Belfont, you had family working at Belfont. Now they don't have a job. So,
Exactly.
of course you're going to have feelings about it.
Yeah.
And strong feelings. I mean, she'll land on her feet.
Well, I mean, she's already got her another job. She's going to be travel nursing up close to Washington, D.C. and West Virginia. So she's already got her job lined out.
Dude, that's going to be cool, though. She's going to get to see some things. Yeah. I don't know if she's ever been to that area. I think travel nurses get paid more, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they get paid more. But, that's 13 weeks that I'm not going to get to see my mom every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's still, no amount of money can make up for not spending time with people you care about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and,
you're right.
And that's what they did. Right. They split people up.
That's right.
And there is a lot of people that are not as fortunate as my mom there.
Right.
And as us. There's a lot of people that don't have anything they can fall back on.
That's right.
So that's really who that song's for,
Well, dude, I think you did it justice. You did in the area. Like you said, 15,000 views on it. Is it on that song or on your Facebook page? Or what?
Yeah. It's like, last time I checked, it was like 14.8.
Yeah,
it's pretty close. I figured that's close enough to round it up, right?
I'll pretty much round up in about anything. 14.1, I'm calling it. I like to put 100 on 10. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you know anybody like that, but if you don't, you just met one.
Yeah.
I don't think a story's worth telling unless you throw a little something on it.
Yeah, you got to spice it up a little bit. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right. That's just respecting your listener, in my opinion.
What do you think songwriting is, man? Half the stuff I'm going to tell you is bullshit.
Dude, you're too good at it for me to believe that. I don't know. You got to draw it from somewhere, unless you just have some kind of wild imagination, because you're too damn good at it. Another song I like that, because I got a brother who's in the coal mines.
Yeah.
And, he's had his ups and goes and stuff. And like I think I told you, he's around that whole Massey Big Branch stuff, years ago. And you got one song. I don't know if you were planning on playing it for us, but
of course
I was gonna beg you for it at least. And so I hope you don't make me resort to that. But Coal Shooter, man, that song is killer, dude. That is a killer song, and I'd love to hear that.
That song is. I wrote that song for my papa because growing up, he always told me stories about him working in the coal mines. And they lived when he was real young, they lived, his whole family, in Johnson County, Kentucky.
Okay.
So, and this was back during, like, coal towns and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They were dirt poor. Song talks about there's holes in the wall big enough to throw a dog through. That's legit. Those are his words there. When he was a kid, he would be trying to go to sleep in the winter, and snow would literally be blowing in on his cover when he was trying to sleep.
Son.
And I can't imagine anything like that myself because I've lived such a cushy, perfect lifestyle. And I think a lot of people can't imagine that. But,
right.
You know, he's been there and he's lived it. And so that's, you know, my papa, he's super influential and interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what that whole song is about. And none of it is fake. It's all 100% real that he has, and his brothers that worked with him told me about.
Damn.
So it's all legit.
Dude, they made them tougher than they make them now.
Yeah.
Even in
No
my
kidding.
age, they're a lot tougher than me, that's for sure. Let's hear it. Cole Shooter, right?
It's Cole Shooter.
In a Johnson County holler where the mining company blew. He lived in a house with all 5 brothers, his dear sisters too. Summer heat was as bad as the mug that the humid air did brew. In the winter the snow just blowed on in through holes in the wall you could throw a dog through. As an able-bodied boy, he lied about his age to help his father break away from the rattle of a poor man's ball and chain. They made him shoot their coal. He was grateful at the time, but there was many a boy that had done the same and they never come out alive. Better run, Cole Shooter, run. Run away as fast as you can. And when you get to the end of the tunnel, just keep on running, my friend. 'Cause this ain't no kind of life that a young man should live. If you can run faster than gunpowder burns, you might see the light again. They were biting down on blasting captures, doing like Daddy has. Even though they knew that the next bite down could surely be their last. Ain't got no time to be scared, no, with dynamite in your hand. Don't hesitate, boy, 'cause if you slip up, son, you're as good as dead. Better run, Cole Shooter, run. Run away as fast as you can. And when you get to the end of the tunnel, just keep on running, my friend. 'Cause this ain't no kind of life that a young man should live. If you can run faster than gunpowder burns, you might see the light again. Send him deep into the mine where a boy can't see the light of day. Guided by the lamp on his head, in the dark he begins to pray that the fuses were all cut right, and that a stray spark won't take light. Prays that he won't die in this mine. He hates the thought of vomit crying. Better run, Cole shooter, run. Run away as fast as you can. And when you get to the end of the tunnel, just keep on running, my friend. 'Cause this ain't no kind of life that a young man should live. If you can run faster than gunpowder burns, you might see the light again. You might see the light again.
God, like, I love Mercy, but I don't love it any more than that one.
Well,
And
good.
I don't love it any less, but
I'm trying to make it hard on you.
dude, you're making it real hard. Like, that song there, you get to that vibrato I'm talking about, man. Like, you start jumping that vibrato, and it's like running up my damn spine. Like, dude, this is 8 months. You've been doing this longer than 8 months.
I've been playing music longer, but I haven't been prioritizing music for any longer than,
God,
I mean,
dang, man.
close to, half a year, really.
Dude, that song.
And I'm really not, when I say that, I'm not saying that trying to brag on myself or anything.
No.
I'm doing that in a humble state because I'm always trying to get better. I'm always looking for ways to better, my guitar playing, my singing, or anything.
Well, just that brag. I would be bragging my ass off. Like, that's all I would do. I'd just walk around singing all the time if I could sing like that.
No, because
and then you could write. You
wrote
that song.
I let guys like you do that for me.
There you go, please. And I will be there just. And once again, guys, the song sounds great live, and I hope I can do it justice on this podcast. But if you just want to hear the song, if this song touches you and you just want to hear it, go to his channel, Patrick McKnight. He did it right because I keep listening to this song.
Again, Patrick McKnight, man. If you seriously, and any musicians out there, if you need to get your song just recorded, you just want to hear it through a microphone or something, get a hold of Pat and he can hook you up.
Yeah, dude, he is the professional, and maybe one day, I don't know, I can trade him some merch for coming down here and helping me with this thing.
Hey, not only that, but let me say this. Pat is one hell of a musician.
Really?
That man, have you seen what Coulter Wall does where he plays that kick drum?
Yeah.
Well, he's been doing that longer than Coulter has.
Really?
Yeah. And dude can sing, too.
He's been doing it back before it was Coulter,
yes,
huh?
He's very, very talented musician.
Dude, I'd love to hear that.
And I'm trying my hardest to get him to play out because he's one of those dudes that can cover a song and make it his own,
Really?
Very good, yeah.
Dude, we're going to have to debut that on here or something.
Yeah,
we're going to have to do something.
I'm not 100% sure how much stuff he has written, and he's one of those very hard on himself people, kind of like me.
Right.
And he always tells me that he don't have enough material to play out, but I know that if he would just play it, that it's definitely good enough for him to play out.
Oh,
He's just too hard on himself.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
But the dude's very talented.
Well, like a painter's never done with their masterpiece,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So they're always like, that's what I've always. I think it's. If that's not a saying, let's make it a saying. A painter's never done with their masterpiece. They're always seeing the flaws, and it's the same thing. Guess I'm done raving about Cole Shooter because that one just, I don't know, man. That just runs all over me. That one. Maybe it's because my brother's coal miner or something. I don't know. This whole area is coal miner, but your lyrics and the way you got that guitar keyed in that song, and it's just wow. It's just great. So. But you got another one here you want to play for us, right?
Yeah, man.
What's the name of it, and tell us the backstory on it.
This next song is called Just Fine. The first song I ever wrote. I wrote this song probably about 8 months ago, right after I just got back from working 2 months in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I still am kind of in that state of mind where I feel old. I feel a lot older than I am.
Right, I understand.
In my tastes and hobbies, things I do,
Right.
music I listen to, just anything. I've always felt older than most of my peers.
It's maturity, you know. I mean, some mature faster. Experiences will mature you faster, or they won't. Like if you're traveling out of town and then you see people losing jobs and stuff, and then you're struggling, like you see how hard it is to get a music career off the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, that matures you. Life humbles you and matures you. So
I reckon, you know, and I don't want people to think that I'm like I've come from any kind of real struggle or anything,
Right.
because that is definitely not the case. And I
Right,
just
right.
want that to be known that I'm not trying to pitch it to anyone that
I understand.
been through any kind of major hardships in my life, because I have had it good, you know, and I understand that I've had it well.
right.
I just I've just always kind of just felt like an oddball,
Right.
you know, and you know maybe not necessarily fit in everywhere.
Right.
And I think this song was kind of me being able to accept myself a little more than
I understand.
than I
Well-
have been in the past.
Well, if this is you not fitting in, I need you to fit out. Just keep fitting out. All right. If you can just keep fitting out,
Well, I
keep
can
putting
do
the
that.
music
I
out.
can do that.
Let's hear. What's the name of this song?
This song's called Just Fine.
All right. Bud.
Make my coffee black and my whiskey straight. I've been told before that I don't act my age, but in a good way. Well, I watch NASCAR, I'm not a soccer fan. If you don't speak English, I won't understand, but I'll try to. And hey, that's all fine. I was born a little bit after my time, and oh, I think I missed the boat. Should've came around 50 years or so ago, but I'm doing just fine. Went to Christian school until I hit 5th grade. Don't go to church, but I still have my faith. That's the truth. No, I worked up north, and I think that's why I want to plant my roots in OKY till I die. And hey, that's all fine. I was born a little bit after my
so many lyrics. There's definitely a song I want to get in on this thing. That's what you just told me before we started this thing, and that was it. And dude, there's so many. One that just stuck out, and it just hit me with cold chills. Is I'm religious, but I don't go to church, or something like that. Dude, that's me, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that is.
So it goes. I went to Christian school until I hit 5th grade. I don't go to church, but I still have my faith.
That's right. That's it. And there's so many people like that. Like, I talk to God every day. My wife will tell you that. I talk to him every day. I even listen to, I'll go ahead and reveal this part of me, but my kids when they're young, they listen to rap and they listen to things that they're you know, it's fun, it's funky, they can dance to and all that stuff. It kind of got me looking for rap with decent lyrics so that they could have something, because most rap is just out of control. I mean, a lot of times I don't really, not that I want to shelter my kids.
Garbage.
Right. Most of it is. Absolutely. Like the vast majority of it is just
terrible.
Not even.
I can't.
And then it just keeps getting worse too. I mean, if you didn't like it before, you'd hate it now. And so I fell into this, like, even this Christian rap kind of stuff, and they just at least had amazing lyrics and a message, amazing message. And it's not always about, you know, God and stuff. When I do go to church, we go to Danilton, and I love that church. Don't get me wrong. That church, if there is one I'm going to go to, it's that one. He's more of a liberal preacher, and I love it. It's more about love and caring than judgment.
Well, that's the way it ought to be.
You know, Brother Forrest is the one down there, but that's at Danilton. If you're looking for a church, it's a great church. It's out here in the country, sticks. It's living what we're living. That line touches me, like that little lyric that you said, and the root of the lyric is, you know, I'm religious, but I don't go to church, or, you know, you won't find me in church or whatever. But you still have a faith, right? I have a faith, even though I don't go to church. There's such a community out there for that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes you just want to get away from anything that just judges you, right? And so you want to live your life the way you want to live, and as long as you're not hurting nobody, as long as you're helping people, man, that song's awesome, dude.
Well, thanks, man. Here's the thing about it, is that a lot of people have a desire to be part of a group.
Right.
And whenever you have a desire to be part of a group, in any group, you're going to have these people that are way too gung-ho about said group. And that's what you run into a lot of the time in church. And that's something that I've never really been able to relate to.
Right.
I've never been a very judgmental person, you know.
Right.
And nothing against, you know, if you go to church, that's great, you know.
That's right.
I'm glad that you were able to find that within yourself. But my thing is, I can't stand hypocrisy.
Right.
If you preach it, you better live it.
That's right.
You better act like exactly what you're saying, and
That's
you know,
right.
and I try my hardest to do that myself. And that's a big reason why I don't go to church anymore.
Don't pick and choose the sins.
Yeah.
Don't pick and choose which sins way more
Dude,
than others.
We're all
sinners. We're all sinners.
We're all. I'm not gonna say we're all not good people, but we all do bad things.
Well, sinning, yeah, you're right. There's a flesh in you.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to preach, but there's a flesh in all of us. The church I go to, great community. It's great. I'm not there all the time. It's just not, if it's for you and you're able to, if you're stronger than me to just be able to go and look past all of that, man, you're awesome.
Yeah,
you
better man than I.
But as church community as a whole, just be more accepting. Just
man.
Be more accepting.
Look, that goes back
Everyone
to what I'm
wants
saying
to belong.
when it says the whole practice what you preach.
Yeah.
I don't care what any preacher says. I don't care how long you've been studying the Bible. What it says, what Jesus is all about, is about love.
That's right.
And more people need to be like that.
That's
like,
exactly right.
Buddy, look, I don't care if you're gay, if you're black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever.
It don't
whatever kind of minority you may be, doesn't make a single bit of difference to me. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I feel like that should be how all people are, you know?
That's the basis.
Whatever makes you happy, buddy, you know?
That's exactly right.
It doesn't, whatever you're doing is not affecting me.
You're absolutely right. That is a great message.
And as long as whatever you're doing is not infringing on whatever I'm doing, then me and you aren't going to have an issue, and we can hang out. and we can drink beer and have a good time
That's
be
right.
buddies.
That's right.
And that's the way I feel like everything should be. I feel like people take that stuff way too seriously.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, who are you to judge somebody else
That's right.
and say that one sin is worse than another?
That's right.
Whenever the Bible specifically says that one sin is not worse than another.
One will keep you out of heaven. Is
Exactly.
what it says. One. It don't matter which one. So that means they're all weighted the same.
Exactly.
No matter what color you are, no matter how your life is, if I cut you, if you cut me, we're gonna bleed the same color.
Exactly.
So that is an amazing message. I think, Cody Jinks at Cast No Stones.
Cast No Stones. That's a great song.
Right, and he said he got one of my favorite. I'm gonna butcher it. Here we go.
I played the song.
Put away your Bible.
Yeah.
Do you know? Put away your Bible, or let me go get mine.
Put up your Bible, or let me get mine.
That's it. That's one of
I'm not dragging the whole world to hell. You're wasting my time.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
That is one of my one. That's top 5 lyric for me
It's a
of
very good
all
lyric.
time. Of all time, like if people would just live that way, we wouldn't be singing the Ulan Branch Blues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It would be happiness and harmony. There would be no deep songs. There would be just let's have a good time. Let's enjoy each other. Let's not worry about anybody else. That's a great message,
The
man.
sad thing, and another, the sad thing about that, about people being like that, and what they don't understand is you are not winning anyone over by being an asshole.
That's right,
Okay,
dude. You're not.
those dudes out there with the megaphones holding signs that say God hates fags and stuff like that. Like, buddy, you're not winning anyone over to your side.
Nobody. You're not winning a solo.
And-
You're running them off.
And God doesn't hate anyone.
No.
If you believe in that, you also, God don't hate anyone. And
Nope.
anybody can come over to that. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So,
Fill your pews
Exactly.
with everybody. Everybody's welcome.
Exactly.
Let's
That's the
come
way
in
it
here.
should be. But that's not the way it is in most churches.
You're right.
And it's not in any church that I've ever been to, So I don't go to church for that reason.
Right.
I don't go to church because
So-
I believe people don't practice what they preach.
So church community.
Yeah.
Church community. You want to fill your pews? Open your arms. That's all we're
Exactly.
saying. That's all we're saying.
That's all that needs to happen.
And don't open your arms and close your eyes.
Yeah.
There's you a song. Open your arms and close your eyes, because we got our eyes open and we don't need them open. So, man. So what did we sing? We sung 4 songs. Was
We
that
did 4, yeah.
What was the names of them? Let's go over them so people can look them up.
First one I did was Goodbye. That was a
That's right.
song about my girlfriend.
Right.
Which, as a 19-year-old, you got to write about what you know.
You got to.
you got to write about what you know.
Yeah. You might be mature, but you're still 19, right?
I'm
So
still
here we
19 years old.
go. Here we go.
And then I played Mercy.
Okay.
So, and if you haven't heard that song, if you want to listen to it, I got it up on my YouTube and on my Facebook.
There you go.
And on my Facebook is where it caught fire and all that.
I got you.
So anyway, and then the next one was Coal Shooter. That's the song I wrote for my
Grandfather.
my grandfather.
Right,
Yeah. And then the last one was Just Fine.
Just fine.
Yeah, and that's a song about me feeling like an old man.
Remember, guys, if you need any kind of graphic design, Scott Sward's your man. He's talented, super talented, so look him up. Live music in the tri-state from Rick Potter.
Yes,
if
sir.
if you're looking for any shows, anything in the area, he's constantly working for local music. Rick Potter, live music in the tri-state. He's also part of Listen Locally, which I'm hoping he can drag me into it. He introduced me to this man right here, Cole Chaney. Hopefully there's a lot more to do with that. We're going to have a show with Cole Chaney about a month. He's going to get him a set together for us, just specifically. He said he doesn't do sets. He doesn't write them down, but he's going to work hard on this one. He's going to play at the Pump House. So be looking forward to that. We'll release a date on that about a month. Patrick McKnight, he's doing big things, so I want to give him another shout out.
Yes.
If you need anything
Patrick.
recorded, he can help you out. Maybe he can help you out. Maybe you can't. Maybe you're lucky enough to find a time in his schedule or something. I'm going to be trying to get him. That would be great for him to help me out with this and tie it all together. Other than that, Cole Chaney, man, it was great to meet you.
Well, it was great being on, man. I really appreciate y'all having me out here. It's been great.
Dude, you're on the right track. Steve Perry says you got your finger on this writing. You got your finger on this writing, man. Keep doing it. You just big things from you. Your voice is Appalachian. Your guitar's Appalachian. Just keep driving. You're gonna build your brand. Cole Chaney, if you like the page, please, I'm gonna do my own plug here. If you like the page, please get on my page, Euland Branch Blues. Please like it. YouTube, please subscribe to it, like the videos, view it, share it. All this stuff does is get local music out. So it gets local music out. I'm not making a dime off any of it.
And it gets good people like you out, too.
Well, I appreciate
people that are willing to take time out of their own day and not make money for the sake of music.
Well,
which is what we all need.
Well, Rick's doing big things. I'm doing, I'm trying with the podcast and the Pump House. Alexis Faye's doing good things. Honky Tonk Heroes is doing good things. There's all kinds of Dark Horse. There's all kinds of good pages out there for local music. You can find it. Don't accept mainstream. You can find it because, especially here on Euland Branch Blues, when it comes to local artists, you may love them, you may hate them, but you're going to meet them right here on Euland Branch Blues. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
A rolling stone gathers no moss. Worn out my shoes running through these honky tonks. And if we're gonna sing, we're about until the break of dawn. Singing the Euland Branch Blues. Singing the Euland Branch Blues.